Hi guys, I know this isn't the best lighting and I don't look the best right now. I'm stressed. But I said that I would document everything, so I'm coming on here less than polished to share what's going on. I'm stressed, and uh, basically what happened is a client came to me um, a few days ago, and they were in a panic, and basically, they needed to get approval with this type of insurance in order to make a purchase, and the purchase was contingent on their approval of insurance. They had tried with other companies and they were not succeeding. And so I was like, you know what? Let's breathe. I'm going to do my best to help you with this. I love problem solving. I love helping people. I really do. It's one of my favorite things to do. It really makes me feel good. I like it. So I had no problem with that, with it being a difficult case. So it took 3 days for this quote. The client didn't have all the information for the quote, so they had to kind of go and like a bird's nest, get it from there, get it from there. We got down to the very last question on the quote, and they answered it in a way that invalidated the entire quote. And so I was just like really discouraged. They were really discouraged. And I talked them through it, and I found a way, an answer for that particular question that allowed them to proceed with the quote. So now the language on this quote was very, I would say it was very generic. It didn't have specifications from the underwriters. It just was a yes or no question. And so we talked through it. She was able to find a solution, and we were able to answer the question. So the policy gets bound and everything. And I find out today that I need to get more information from the customer because I may have written a policy that didn't meet underwriter standards. And I feel, I got kind of, I had to I chose to talk to someone at the company. I chose to come forward and be very transparent that I knew that I had fallen short of that question, that I had handled it. And then, when I spoke to the person in the company, they also were like, okay, well, did the quote give you this? The quote was supposed to give you these specifications. Did you receive that? And I said, no. And they were like, okay, well, then, something went wrong on our end too. And I was like, yes, okay. It's not just me. Then the person was very rough with me a little, like, okay, you need to fix this, and I was like, okay, so now I have to go back to the customer and be like, okay, I need you to meet these specifications in order for this policy to be, approved moving forward. It's already bound, but it was kind of bound prematurely, I guess. And I'm just discouraged, but then it got me thinking, like, okay, I'm discouraged because I made a mistake. But it got me thinking, and it's like, I know that I'm a person of integrity, and I know that I do not like to make big mistakes, and I will do everything in my power to do things right because I really believe in doing the right thing. But I was just, thinking about this situation and thinking like, okay, how did we get here? And it's like, well, first of all, I get pressure to make sales. It's like, even to the point where it's like, if I've gotten notices, if you don't make a quote in 30 days, we're going to terminate your agency from our contract and all this stuff. So I'm getting all this pressure on one side to make sales. And then on the other side from underwriting, there's pressure to make sure that all the underwriting stuff is covered. Then there's pressure from the customers that they need this insurance, you know, like, or they can't move forward, you know? And it's like, ugh, so much pressure on all sides. And I tend to be a people pleaser, and I tend to be a perfectionist of myself too. And it's too much. And then at the same time, it's like I'm supposed to carry myself in this profession as a stable, knowledgeable, law, you know, keeping citizen of authority. And, you know, I need to be able to handle all the pressure on all sides. Plus, on top of that, I'm also dealing with shortcomings from other areas of like refunds that were due to me in the insurance realm that are 90 days past due, you know? So it's like, I just feel like the leadership falls, like, I feel like literally what is given to you is a survival pack. When you get licensed as an insurance agent, you get this survival pack. You don't get all the information. You don't get trained, you know. And then this particular company did not train me in their quotes. They just said, okay, you're approved. Quote some quotes, bind some policies, you know. So you are at the mercy of the underwriting language in the policy. And then also trying to meet the customer's demands or requests, you know, when they're under a lot of pressure. And what I'm learning though, okay, this will work out somehow. But what I'm learning is that what comes first is underwriting. I always need to satisfy underwriting. And if I don't know if I'm answering a question correctly, I need to pause the quote, get the correct answer, and then proceed. I need to not have any question marks over whether I answered the question correctly moving forward. So I realized that, and I'm going to do better, and I am learning my lessons. But right now, I'm really in the thick of some heaviness regarding this area. So I went and I listened to some music. I did something creative to take my mind off it, and I feel like I gained some balance back. But I'm really not going to feel 100% until I know that this is handled, and until I know that we satisfied underwriting. So I think the thing is, what I realize is if this mistake comes to light, I could be terminated from my contract with this company. That would be sad. And worse, I could be disciplined. I don't think it'll get that bad, but, you know, I did put myself in a compromising situation, and I am really stressed about that. Okay, I guess I'll let you know how it turns out. I will check back in later. Hi peeps, I'm back. And as you can see, my countenance is much brighter than last time I checked in with you. So my last update was a whole debacle of a quote and eligibility, and feeling like I had messed up the quote and possibly like did something, wrong on the quote. But the truth is, I was not wrong. I was able to do my own research and realize that the manufactured home had 2 forms of heating. It was fine. And I also was able to briefly connect with, I went on to a webinar that taught on how to quote with that particular company. And I asked in the question and answer time, how do you determine the heat source of a home? And they said, well, most homes come already built in with a thermostatic heater. So, they said that it's very rare that they're not built with that. And if they're not, then the customer would know that. And so I just think that this is just growing pains. I mean, anybody out there that has started a business, has started a new job, and plus for me, like I shared, I have a tender conscience and I hate getting in trouble, in the sense of like, I just have a very tender conscience about things like that. And I've always been like that. And it's a good thing. I think it's a beautiful thing to want to do the right thing, to feel badly when you don't do the right thing, or if you have, just made a mistake or whatever. I think it shows that I have a healthy conscience, and that's really rare in these days, I think. So I'm not going to fault myself for that at all. I think it's a good thing. So anyway, all is well. And I'm noticing that my phone is ringing more often, and I'm getting more emails, and I'm getting more, I'm just getting more general interests. Now, a lot of those fall through and don't turn into policies, but the more people you get in front of and the more calls you get, the more likely you are to sign a policy. So what I'm learning is to not be overly eager to, but to also not be overly available. Meaning like I said, if somebody's just like, just give me a quote, and they're not planning on signing up for insurance, I've gotten a lot better at just saying, well, here's the website, you can go get a quote. And also just, determining when someone needs customer service and how to handle all those things. And, I'm someone that learns fast, and I pride myself on that. Well, yeah, I guess I shouldn't be too proud, but I mean, I am a believer, and I believe in Jesus, and I believe that the Holy Spirit gives us the ability to learn. And when we're walking with God, our minds aren't as cluttered. So, yeah, I think that's all I have to share. I will check back in with you guys soon. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And if you feel like commenting, comment. And if you like this video, then like it. And I'll see you again soon.